You're on page 150. Fourth chapter, 10th verse. Mayam tu prakritim vidyat mayin cha maheshwaram tasya avayava bhutaistu vyaktam sarvamidam jagat. One should know that nature is surely Maya, and the Supreme Lord is a ruler of Maya to be sure. The whole universe is verily pervaded by what are his limbs, his parts. Avayavas. Now, this is quite a famous verse which even Swami Vivekananda quoted. And one should know that nature is surely Maya. Now, this is nature, and this is called Maya. This is one of the central doctrines of Advaita Vedanta. And as Swami Vivekananda says, the final conception, what we have now, evolved over maybe 1,000 years. The first reference we get of Maya is in the Rig Veda. Indra Maya Vipurarupa Iyate. So Indra, through his Maya, takes on various forms. It was interpreted in two ways. One is Indra, through his magic, appears in various forms. And another explanation is interpretation. Indra, through his wisdom, takes on various forms. This was the first mention. Then we have some of the later Upanishads mentioning, but in a kind of not a central way, I say. This concept fell in the hands of the Buddhists. Maya also means illusion, deception, lies, untruth, magic, all these, various, you can say, meanings are attached to this word. So, in the hands of the Buddhists, it became something like the nihilism. That is, there's nothing that exists at all. What we see is a void. And then there was another philosophy, Buddhistic philosophy, that was Shanika Vigyanvada, that the doctrine of momentary consciousness. So these two, and what happens is all the while the philosophers were debating it, the word dropped out of sight.
Wow.
Yeah, because what happens is you are getting some multiple, you can say, meanings out of this one simple word. And then it reappears in this Upanishad as kind of, it's more or less a kind of a settled doctrine by this time. Mayam tu prakriti. One should know nature is surely Maya. What this is nature is Maya. And the Supreme Lord is the ruler of this Maya, to be sure. And the whole universe is nothing but the Lord's parts everywhere, limbs, faces, everything, eyes, and everything, whatever. Now, when you say nature is Maya, uh, the meaning of the word Prakriti has got nature, or technically that which issues forth, which spreads out. And nature does evolves, starts with something small and keeps on evolving and gathering strength and becomes larger and larger and larger. So in in there's a and kriti. So vikriti means something that when this process is cleansed. So, and that's why the language is called Sanskrita, kind of polished. The old Vedic Sanskrit is extremely difficult. One needs to use a kind of a huge dictionary called a Nirukta to understand because that was what do you say, the Vedic Sanskrit. So by the time we come down to the Ramayana and the Mahabharata, Sanskrit has become cleansed Sanskrit. So all these processes are within Prakriti. Sometimes Prakriti gets deformed, as it were. Everything is nice and smooth and calm and quiet, and suddenly there's a huge storm and there's a 10 feet of ice falling down. What happened? And then it gets cleansed. So these processes. Now the sage here says this nature is surely Maya. Now, like I said, Maya is what? Now, in the hands of the philosophers, they made a huge thing out of it. And Swami Vivekananda says it's one of the central pillars in understanding Vedanta. You can understand Maya, you can understand. But can you really understand? No. If you can understand, it no longer is Maya. So they say it is something because it has produced this universe. Obviously, we're experiencing it. It has to be something. It's not a kind of illusion. So, what is that something? Is they call it bhava rupa, something yet kinchit. And then it has three qualities: sattva and rajas and tamas. With this permutation combination, this whole universe is kind of created. All the materials in this universe has these three qualities: sattva, rajas, and tamas. This qualities has got another meaning, guna. It means a rope. It ties the individual soul to itself. Kind of. There is a Girish Ghosh was one of the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, Bohemian. So he's saying Mahamaya. By this time, the word has become evolved by the worshippers of Mother, like Shakta worshippers, into called Mahamaya. Instead of Maheshwara, they have called it the great Lord. This is the great Mother. And what she, when she brought a kind of a rope to tie Vivekananda. So Vivekananda became, he expanded a little. And then the rope fell short. She went to get some more rope. Right. As she came in, he expanded a little more. And she was constantly falling short. She's running out, getting some rope and trying to tie, but she is expanding. And then she, in disgust, she, enough. I don't want that. I don't want to tie more. And Nag Mahashai, yesterday we were reading it. He was a great, very great soul. He was a very simple, but his spiritual stature was tremendous. So Girish Ghosh says that when Mahamaya comes to tie him, he reduces himself a little. And then, and she ties him tightly. Again, he keeps on reducing himself. And then she couldn't tie him anymore. Okay. So these are the two ways you can escape this world of, you can say, Maya. And it's called anirvachaniya, that is indescribable. You cannot describe it. How much can you describe a grain of sand? How much can you know a grain of sand? You keep on and on and on and on. It seems you are studying not a grain of sand, you're studying the whole universe. So it keeps on. What's this? You cannot define it absolutely. Nothing. And that is why this is a great kind of consolation for all of us. We should not feel, oh, we have not been adequately defined, or we have not been adequately, uh, you know, judged. People say this, people say that about me. Nobody can know anything completely about you. No one. And that's the reason why it gives a person the space to grow. The moment you label something and this is what it is, that person itself feel, oh, so I'm this. I'm a fool. 20 people call me a fool, and so I'm a fool. That person keeps on believing that I'm a fool. No, don't label anyone absolutely. So that person also gets a kind of a confidence that no, this, yeah, 2 people or 10 people might call me fool, but I know I'm not a fool. So in everything, it is Maya is, they say, it's indefinable, because you cannot absolutely describe anything in its entirety. And then they say, "Eh, is it real? No, because real is that reality called Brahman. You cannot have another reality. Then is it unreal? No, seeing that it produces all these things. It's producing you, me, and all these experiences. Yeah. So is it a combination of real and unreal? You say no. That will be self-contradictory. Then what is it? That's why they say it's indefinable. If you can understand Maya, Maya runs away. Sri Ramakrishna gives a, you can say, illustration. A brother is trying to frighten his sister by putting on a mask of a tiger. And the sister screams and she runs. And then she turns back, hey, wait, there's something wrong here. Then the brother takes the mask, tiger mask off. Oh, you are my Haru. so, so Sri Ramakrishna says, if Maya is recognized, it departs. Yes. But now, where is this situated? Yes, it is in our intellect. That's the problem. And like I said yesterday, why doesn't this show, magic show, ever end? So Sri Ramakrishna says, repeated births in this world of Maya has consolidated these ideas of permanency in our mind. There we are. Yes. That's there. That's a little far fetched, no? Yeah. But then it's new. Yeah. Another example I said, look at your own life till now. Everything seems like a kind of a dream. So that's the reason why I say Maya is like Smriti Rupa. It's kind of, it takes a form of a memory type of memory. So yeah. Yes, it was me that was living all these years. I can prove. I've got pictures of myself there. There. Yes, but you are not the same. The intellect has grown, your mind has grown, the emotions have become purified. Everything has grown. And that is what is journey. We from a very small beginning, we keep on expanding and expanding and expanding, expanding. We will expand, we will stop expanding when we can cover the whole world. Yes. Through the body? No, through the mind. A person might be imprisoned. Oh, his the body is locked in that, but the mind is free. The problem is the mind comes down to the body. I was telling the other day, so there's a guy who comes and says, how do I control my mind? So I recommended a small book, Mind and Its Control, by Buddhananda. After a while saying, nothing's happening. So you got to do something. Simply reading will not control the mind. No, but then what are the practical, you can say, things that I need to do? See, you better control your body. Okay. That will be in a way controlling the mind. So he's saying here, yeah, I said, yeah. Every small thing that happens in my mind, I get so agitated. I'll feel a little hungry and I need to grab something to eat. No, hold on. Wait for a while. So I'm feeling slightly cold. I'm going to pull on my, you can say, furs. Wait. So slowly what happens is your mind gets conditioned. It has a grip over the bodily, you can say, actions. Then you rise to the senses and then slowly grapple with them. So it's called pratyahara. It senses go, you draw them in. And as we keep on doing it, you find the mind has become controlled. So this is how we kind of control, though we've shifted from the main, you can say. So we keep on expanding when you feel you are the universe. This is the highest state, as the Upanishad say. There, Maya will no longer bind. Like uh, Swami Vivekananda keeps on expanding, or keeps on contracting. Naham, not me, not I, thou, Naham, Naham. So either way, the positive or the negative way, you can come out of it. So is this experience, in fact, the entire Upanishad has been speaking about these experiences beyond Maya, and it has also given us a few disciplines how to approach it. If you can formulate it in your mind, yes, this is what it is. In fact, Swami Vivekananda goes even further, saying Maya is a simple statement of facts. It's a tremendous statement. In fact, he has given a kind of a new interpretation to this doctrine of Maya. In Advaita Vedanta, they are not, settled on one explanation. There are two or three explanations. We won't go into that, but uh, they all say that you need to come out of this. Come out of what? Come out of the idea that you are tiny and small and weak and hopeless and useless and all these things. And once you can come out of this idea, there so Swami Vivekananda says Maya is a simple statement of facts, what we think and what we do at the present moment. Are we aware of the reality? No, that is what it is. When you become aware of the reality, that all pervading reality, you're free from this. Saying stretch your ideas as far as you can, call them infinite or by any name, yet they are within the realms of Maya. So we need to come out of our this littleness, or come out of the idea that we are bodies, and yeah, we have a mind, of course. Naturally, I have a mind and you have a mind, everybody has a mind. We feel in this age, the one advantage is we feel the mind more than the body, actually. Oh, yes. It's only when something is hurting and they, oh, I've got a pain, I need to take painkillers, this and that. But we feel the mind more than, and this is a great advance in human civilization. In a few, maybe centuries, we'll enter completely in the realm of the mind. And there are scientists who say, I think it was, there was one kind of series on physics and the world or something like that. You see, Morgan Freeman says that the body is nothing but an extra baggage you're carrying it around. First, he says that the body is just to carry your brain around. It has that's the only utility. Oh, yes. And if you really see, yes, the body is just to take your brain about here, then there you are. And then he says that then you will find that this is an extra baggage you've been carrying, lugging about, and which is really not necessary. We can live in the mind completely. That means that civilization has risen up to that, and then it will rise further on, and it will can live in that consciousness, all conscious. Then that is an ideal society. And in India, they tried to do that, not for the whole populace, but for a section of the people, saying you are supposed to live and work and think and pray like a god. Don't do anything that smacks of worldliness. So we had a few sages and it trickled down a little. Many people thought, what is this kind of complacent and mildness and non-aggressiveness and what is this kind of? But India failed in its attempt to reach out to all the people. But then these concepts are far ahead of our times. And now society is slowly, we've got to live in the consciousness of God. That is a real human identity, social identity, civilization identity, anything. We've been too fascinated with race and this and that and color and fuck. So do we wait for everyone to reach up to that? Then, there are some people in a hurry. Let's take a shortcut and come out of the whole thing process. So, to get back to this, the Maya, that which is not. Yama. Na is, as you know, you're studying Sanskrit. That which is not. It is there, and yet at the same time, it's not there. It makes the impossible possible and the possible impossible, obviously. It makes the infinite think of itself as finite, which is an impossible thing. And the example given is like a small patch of cloud obscures a mighty sun. Technically, it shouldn't have been doing that. But we see it. A patch of cloud comes and there, the sun is obscured. So that veiling power comes over the intellect and obscures that radiance of the self. Okay. So Maya has two powers because it is nature. One is the projection power. It projects, keeps on expanding and expanding. Left to itself, will keep on running its course and then it'll get exhausted. Let's come back. And that guy, like a guy, walks back to the starting point, tired. And then Go run, run again. Keeps running. So nature does that. Exhaust, projects, and then, as we know, it veils the reality. Vikshepa Shakti and Avrana Shakti. These two things that makes us feel we are individuals limited, this. So where are these powers in our intelligence itself covers? How do you purify it? By concentration. And that's the reason why this samadhi, everybody's running samadhi and samadhi, one has to sit down like that and go into samadhi. And then the real meaning of samadhi is when the buddhi, the purified form of the intellect has become sama, steady. And the illustration is given of a flame in a windless place. It's still. Yata deepo nivataste na ingate. It does not move. So when the intellect becomes still, it no longer kind of throws shadows. When you have something moving, you always oh, everything is moving. Oh, it throws pictures. And what are the pictures? Its own past impressions. And that is, yeah, see, this is the car, and this is the, you can say, ship, and this is the plane, and this is, it's all here, and it's keeping on moving, throwing all those. So it is not simple idealism, or it's not realism also. It's a statement of fact. This is what happened. So when the intellect has become steady, then the truth flashes. And once the truth, and it's in that intellect there, the buddhi, the samadhi, there you get a first glimpse of your individuality. And the second step is that individual, or the individual soul, as I say, itself is a kind of a illusion. It's a chimera. And then, oh, then it's over for you. Ah.
Recap.
Yeah, that's what Shri Ramakrishna says. Repeated births in this has crystallized those ideas that I'm a body and this and that. When the intellect, that's the reason why also this in the Gayatri mantra, people used to pray for that Dhi. May that purified intelligence in us be awakened. Bhurvasva tat savitur varenyam bhargo devasya dhimai dhiyo yona prachodayat. Awakening. So this is the prayer that one has to, pray. Not give me this and give me that and take this, take this and take that. So once this is there and it's in our grasp and it is actually ours, we can try to still it. And the various processes are given. One is, as I say, yoga. Still the mind. Stop the gyrations of the mind. And then everything becomes. And then what we will see? This whole universe is verily pervaded by what are that reality's parts. As it were, one has apparently become like the many. You see everything as the divine. We will no longer criticize, or blame, or doubt every face will be the face of God. And everything will be equal in your eyes. There will be no high or low, nothing like that. Every being with consciousness has will become so precious, and your heart will grow larger and larger and larger. This realization of the divine is the goal of our existence. Okay. We'll take the next one, 11th, fourth chapter, 11th. We'll read the translation, page 152. By realizing that non dual one who exists as the ruler in every Prakriti, into whom this universe enters, and from whom it emerges diversely, and who is the controller, who is benevolent, effulgent, and adorable, one attains this peace absolutely. Yeah. So this part of the mantra is also taken from the another Upanishad called the Kathopanishad. Nichayatan Shantim Apnoti. So here he's saying, Yo Yoni Yonim Aditishtati Eko, one. Yasminnidam Samcha Vichaiti Sarvam, Tam Ishanam Varadam Devamidhyam, Nichayayam Shantim Atyantamit. Absolute peace. This Maya we're talking about, it is like, in this Upanishad, it is spoken of as Devatma Shaktim, Vagunair Nikudam. That is the power of the Lord hidden in its effects. What are the effects of this world? We see that we the experience. So here the sage says, by realizing that non, but then we do realize that this chair is separate from this table and this table and me and this and that. Everything. You're just seeing something on the surface. It's just a surface view. So how do we see with the eyes? No, your eyes are meant to see only surface things. Sensory data that's coming in, you'll work on the sensory level. Suppose you purify it. Yeah, you take a kind of a microscope and then you peer inside. Oh yeah, this chair doesn't look like the chair anymore. There's so much bacteria here. Oof, oh. Hey, and then you put a electron microscope and there you penetrate. But still, it will be limited. When you see things through that purified intellect, the then comes the realization. What? There is one non-dual consciousness. This which exists as a ruler in every prakriti. It is a ruler in the sense, it is the foundation, the basis of everything. Water is the basis of the waves. Wow, huge wave. See that guy surfing on it. Oh, fantastic. You lost sight of the water. Yeah. So, in every wave, the reality is the ocean. We call it wave. So, when that being, that intellect within us is purified, can see, it will see everything as this consciousness here. Yoni means in every kind of womb, but the contextual meaning is which is the source of everything. Like we have this nature here spread out, and we think this is the human world. No, it's not human. It is not human at all. It has so many species. God, Friend is not the ants. So we have a huge, you can say, uh, layered existence, starting from the smallest to the highest, stretching to even the gods, those semi celestial, celestial, higher, higher, and higher, and higher, up to the creator. That also is within the realm of Maya. So here we is saying, and that's the reason why is a source of everything. And there are worlds which we do not even know about. That is, we have not even intuited. The second hand, third hand knowledge. And like Diane has been reading, like, Swami Abhidhamma's books. And yeah, now there are some things which are not perceptible but which exist. Yeah. Thank you, Neil, for giving that book to us. So it's not necessary that we need to see them to even believe that they exist. The germs were not seen, and people are wondering how people are falling sick. And then somebody discovered that you have something called a germ. In India, we had this Jains, they are a religious sect. They call themselves not a sect, but they call them a religion. They're saying there are these tiny beings that you breathe in, that you kill when you breathe in. So cover your mouth with that, so you don't breathe in. The way to get you touch heaven. This world is a world of actually it's meant for by and the team. It's bacteria.
What?
Bacteria, single-celled organisms. They outnumber your biological cells. Yeah, they are everywhere. So these guys will say, this world belongs to us. And there are the ants, the number of ants will outweigh the human population. 7.45 or 6 billion. Billion? They are heavier than us. So we are apt to think too great about ourselves and our achievements and all. It's nothing. So in Prakriti, everything is equal. Yes. And that is what it is. A mistaken identity. There's that I'm separate, this is separate, and this is small, and this is big, and this all these things. These division. That's why the buddhi is called one that cuts things up, chops things up, divides. That's what it keeps on dividing, dividing, dividing. This is my world. This is my space, and this my that. Okay, okay, fine. Don't shout about it. Like you want your space, and there's the others also who would like their own space. So that consciousness exists in every, you can say, womb or the source, and into which this universe enters and into which emerges, gets in and gets out. It's like the in-breathing and the out-breathing of God, as the Upanishads say. It's a breath. This whole thing is. That's why pranayama, while doing pranayama, one should visualize the in-breathing and out-breathing of God. You are part of that massive creative process that's going on. Not simply will damage your lungs otherwise. And if you don't damage your lungs, you may burn some of the nerves inside, neurons. So here it merges and emerges inside. And that consciousness, which is now, and the sage gives a kind of it's the controller, it's benevolent, it's effulgent, adorable. Ah, people, what is this consciousness? Here it is. It's adorable. Ah. It's benevolent. And it's auspicious, and here it is fulgent, and that is the controller of everything, Antaryami. When you attain, there are people who come say, Swami, how do I attain peace? I said, as long as you have a mind, there will be no peace. No, but then how? You should be able to tell us. I'll tell you what. You go back home, or you can stay out here and fall asleep for a while. You'll you'll sleep peacefully. But when you wake up, of course, you'll get all the headaches again. So as long as you have a mind in the waking state, in the dream state, is all kind of agitated. So in this agitation, there will be no peace. When you intuit that reality, you will attain peace. This is what is saying. One attains that absolute peace. So yeah, and the peace is another name for the reality. Like yesterday I was saying, Shantam Shivam Advayam. It is the Atman is called Shantam, peace. But of course, what happens is, like I said, we have this mind, and it's always turbulent, and then we have to live in nature, which are things beyond your control. A lightning might strike your head. Boom. What did I do wrong? Lightning will say, no, you not did anything wrong. I just fell down, and you happen to be in the way. And then kind of a snake bites me. What did I do wrong? No, you were passing by and you stepped on my tail. Oh, I get a kind of a headache or a cold or something like. So this adhyatma, the daiva, the bhuta, these are the three factors that come and affect our bodies and minds. That's a reason why at the end of every mantra is called the Shanti mantras, trying to allay those forces which are beyond our control. And that's why this is Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So that which is inside should be at peace, that which is outside should be at peace, and that which is above, right, which is absolutely without, you can say, not in our control. That, please. That's why Dev Shanti, Antariksham Shanti. May the heavens be peaceful. May the intermediate region be peaceful. May the earth be peaceful. May the trees be peaceful. May the water be. May the sun and moon, stars, and everything be peaceful. Let all the beings be peaceful. So it is a way of trying to project these thoughts of peace, and it does work. But absolute peace you will attain only when you realize the Atman. We we have a few minutes, but the 12th mantra is a repeat of the third chapter, fourth. So we want, since we've gone through it, uh, next time we will. Rudra, who is the origin and source of the divine powers of the gods, who is the protector of the universe, the great seer, saw Hiranyagarbha as he was being born. May he endow us with good understanding. This is one of the things. May that divine endow us with good understanding. Dhi again. Sana Buddhya Subhaya Samyunaktu. So that reality even saw Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is a the great womb, the golden wombed being from where issues of all this. So apart from this Pashyata that he sees, the mantra is the same which we had done. We'll next time we'll take some the discussion and proceed towards